Hey there, welcome to the Chronicle Pregame Show. I'm Ryan Hoerger alongside Brian Pollack. Here you get set up for Duke and Notre Dame. The Blue Devils Fighting Irish are going to tip it off from Cameron Stadium at 2 p.m. on Saturday. The matinee showing for the Blue Devils as they try to bounce back from a loss at Clemson on Wednesday night down in Greenville, Brian. 68-63 was the final there, and really it was one of the first times this year we saw Duke's lack of depth really exposed. Brandon Ingram and Marshall Plumlee were saddled with 4 fouls apiece. Chase Jeter fouled out in 4 minutes. And the Blue Devils really didn't have an answer for Landry Noko and the rest of the Clemson bigs down low.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, Duke had gotten in foul trouble several times earlier this year and been able to prevail. So this was the first time that loss of Emil Jefferson and really that shortage of depth on the bench in the front court really got them in trouble. They were able to escape at Wake Forest despite very similar foul troubles. But Wednesday, the real thing that got them was they weren't able to convert at the free throw line. They could barely even get to the free throw line, just 2 of 7 for the game. Didn't make their first free throws until very late in the second half. This for a Duke team that came in scoring almost 20% of its points via the free throw line. Brandon Ingram, Luke Connaughton, Grayson Allen, all very efficient free throw shooters who attack the rim and get there often. So Clemson really was able to negate that part of Duke's offense, and they paid for it.
Yeah, definitely. And a quick note on Emil Jefferson, still on crutches, still in the walking boot, no true real timetable for his return. So the Blue Devils really can't get him back fast enough as they try to keep going forward with what's been really a 7-man rotation, sometimes even just a 6-man rotation. But Brown, when you look at Notre Dame, this is a team that beat Duke 2 out of 3 times last year. They beat them in a really close game in South Bend. The first meeting between the teams, Duke got revenge with a big blowout here in Durham, and then Notre Dame won in Greensboro in the ACC tournament. Really, the dominant performer in the Notre Dame wins was Bonzie Colson. Really kind of an unheralded name when you have the likes of Jerian and Pat Connaughton on last year's team. Bonzie Colson really stepped up, and he's going to be back in that lineup again for the Fighting Irish come Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you mentioned, a terrific 3 games last year, back and forth, very exciting in each one. So it'll be good to see that next chapter of this budding rivalry. But Notre Dame, while they lost Jerian and Pat Connaughton, their 2 stars from last year, they still know how to score the basketball very well. All 5 of their starters are scoring 11 points or more per game, shooting 47% or better from the floor. They're very efficient. They can beat you in a lot of different ways. Demetrius Jackson taking over at the point, stepping in for Grant. And their offense has really not even missed a beat. 17 points a game for him along with 5 assists, so he really knows how to spread the ball around. They can hurt you from deep. Guys like Steve Visturi on the outside can really shoot it. As you mentioned, Colson and forward Zach August really get them on the inside going, and that could be a trouble for the Duke bigs.
Yeah, but when you look beyond that, Brian, Notre Dame's a little bit similar to Duke in the sense that they don't go that deep into their bench. They only play about 7 guys have to play double-figure minutes per game. The next their 8th guy plays about 3.8 minutes per game, so it's not like Notre Dame's been trying out 8-9 guys against the Blue Devils. It's going to be kind of similar, but like you said, Brian, they're very well balanced. Anybody can hurt you on any given day, and so it's really a good test for the Blue Devil defense to try to stay in front of their guys and prevent multiple Irish players from lining up the scoreboard. So with that said, Duke and Notre Dame, 2 p.m. Saturday at Cameron Stadium. You can follow the Chronicle's in-game coverage at DukeChronicle.com, at Duke Basketball on Twitter, and our Blue Zone blog for all your post-game reaction. For Brian Pollack, I'm Ryan Hoerger. We'll see you guys later.